Live and direct. It's Sway in the morning.
Right here on Shade 45.
By Any Dreams Necessary is the name of his latest project. He is here with us right now. You heard him on the show before. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Rise and Shine, the one and only Incomparable Shakespeare.
Yeah.
It's shaky, baby.
All right. What's going on, world? How's everybody feeling out there?
Things are well, man. Things are well. I like this part of an artist's career because you've been here before. You came in and you spit some bars, and you got a lot of great reaction from people. We did a small interview that you were able to incorporate in your last mixtape.
Yes, the Invincible Dream mixtape, man. Thank you so much.
Absolutely, man. That was fun for me to do, man, just to be a part of. How did that do for you, by the way?
Yo, it did incredible, man. Like, the feedback was very positive. It was a beautiful thing, and it means so much to me because, again, I'm a fan, man. I've been watching you and listening to you, so for you to be an integral part in anything I do as just a fan of the culture is always going to mean something to me because, like, when I look at the landscape of hip-hop and hip-hop media, you've been there, more so than anyone else. You've seen the ascension of the Pacs and the Bigs, the Jays, the Eminems, the X's, the Drakes, the Kendricks. So if there's anybody that knows hip-hop, you know what I'm saying, it's definitely you. So thank you.
Thank you, man. I appreciate that.
That's a nice way to start the interview.
Hey, man,
off,
man, you about to get a lot of airplay. You named some of these legends. Where were you when Big was out? I mean, you're from Brooklyn. Big is by arguably the most famous Brooklyn MC that ever lived. Where were you when Big's reign was happening? What were you doing?
I mean, I was young, man, and it was dope because I remember listening to Flex and they're playing Juicy. You know what I'm saying? That's when I used to like have my little cassette ready and I, press record and pause and you know what I'm saying? Just getting ready to capture whatever was hot. So I remember that vividly, man. It seems like it was yesterday, but, it's crazy to think that was like 20 years ago,
Damn, it was.
It sure was.
I wasn't old enough to go out. So even like, they're doing the whole tunnel thing again, man. I didn't get a chance to experience that. I couldn't go anywhere. You know what I'm saying? My mom would barely let me stay up to listen to Stretch and Bob on a Sunday night.
Wow, Stretch and Bob Beatles, Stretch Armstrong, Bob Beatles, legends. Tunnel being a legendary club here in New York City. Did you grow up? How many siblings did you have? Like, what was your household like growing up?
I grew up in a single parent home, and I have one older sister. You know what I'm saying? So and actually I attribute my love for hip hop partly to her because she was always into hip hop, man. I remember when Video Music Box used to come on late at night and I used to sit up and watch with her, and she was always a fan of like New Edition and everything that was popping, so I was always in the scheme of things.
When did you first pick up a pen and something in you told you, man, I can do this, I want to be a rapper? Where were you when that happened?
Yo, I was in 4th grade. You know what I'm saying? And this is real talk. Like, the only things I've ever wanted to do in life was to either be a cartoonist or a rapper. There was nothing else. Wow. There was never any doubt in my mind that it was like, hip-hop spoke to me in such a unique way that I knew just at that tender age of 9, it was like, this is what I want to do for the rest of my life. Like, the way it impacted me. And hip-hop, I always say this, hip-hop got me through so many real moments in life. I lost my mom when I was 16, like, just going through hardship and facing obstacles, it was hip-hop that kept me sane, man. Yeah. So, I'm like, I want to be able to give that back to somebody else. There's a 9-year-old kid listening right now, and I'm hoping that Shakespeare at some point can inspire them to be that,
What I like about you, you are very well-spoken and seem very transparent and honest the way you speak, and I hope you never lose that. As your success continues to grow. A lot of rappers come up and it's yo, one-word answers, yo, Cheryl, making up words I never even heard of. And I was, I'm like, I thought I've been around for a minute. They say things, the vocabulary, you can't even understand. It's so refreshing to hear you speak and hear you tell your stories. I'm glad that you're doing this.
How did you lose your mom?
Actually, my mom was asthmatic, and, it was crazy because, like, I was in the crib, like, and she basically had an asthma attack and went into cardiac arrest. And it was so weird because it was one of those things where you don't expect to lose someone to asthma. You know what I'm saying? Although she was chronic asthmatic, there were many times where she would be hospitalized and she would come out the hospital like in a day or so. Or, like she would go in really quickly and come out. So that night, I didn't expect that, I was going to be the last time I saw her. But, that changed my whole perspective on life, honestly, You know, it's funny because I feel like losing my mom at 16 and only having one older sibling, like my entire adult life has kind of been lived by trial and error.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? When you don't necessarily, because that was my rock. You know, I have a solid relationship with my dad, but again, I grew up in a single parent home.
Yeah.
So, you know, you have to kind of navigate your way. And thankfully, I didn't make any critical mistakes. You know what I'm saying? And I was smart enough to avoid like the pitfalls.
You know, you have a lyric in one of your songs where you say, they say that I'm so vain, but I don't even have to spit about crack cocaine.
Yo, you know, listen, to me that's so real because I feel like that's what ultimately makes me different in the landscape of hip-hop right now. When you listen to hip-hop, you would think that all of these dudes that kind of come from, you know, like lower to middle-class places, like all of a sudden they're rich. They got all the jewelry. They got all the brolic jewelry. They push the, you know, the newest whip and all of that. But it's like, that's not real. You know, everybody's supposed to be a D-boy in hip-hop. That's not the truth to me. I grew up in the hood. You know what I'm saying? And I know my narrative is very different. And I think that there are so many more people that can relate to my story than the story of the D-boy. Like, that's not saying that you don't see it, but the way hip-hop would have it, you would think everybody coming up in the hood is
selling
D-boy.
crack.
Exactly. You know what I'm saying? I sold crack. I'm that guy. Nah, B. You know what I'm saying? Your priorities twisted. You nickel and diamond.
Incomparable Shakespeare is here, man. I like that, man. Incomparable Shakespeare, Brooklyn MC. First artist in our Rise and Shine segment that we're doing. Artists who are in the game and starting to bubble. And we have them early in their career. So what we learn about you. So you lost your mom as a teenager. You got an older sister.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
You grew up in a single-parent household. Grew up in Brooklyn. Picked up your first pen and pad in the 4th grade.
Yeah.
Big. You were too young to go to the tunnel and all those things. Do you remember your first rhyme that you ever wrote?
I don't, but I know it was whack. Whatever it was, I'm sure it was garbage.
Captain, what you gonna say?
No, we also learned that he would have liked to have been a cartoonist. It's still not too late, but that's a really interesting field.
You know, I mean, you know, when you grow up in the 90s, man, we were fortunate, you know? Like, there were dope cartoons out there, you know? Like, even the tail end of the 80s, watching Thundercats and stuff. That was the joy.
Thundercats, yo. He-Man, who knew about that?
You know, He-Man was real. G.I. Joe was my favorite, you know?
We are the Littles.
Wow.
Wow, he's taking it there.
He's taking deep on it right there. Have the beat.
You know, I mean,
Meet George Jetson.
Okay, I know that one.
Okay, the Jetsons. I mean, but that was an experience, you know what I'm saying? Like waking up on a Saturday morning, grabbing your bowl of like super colorful cereal that's gonna leave your milk a different color when you're done and watching cartoons. That was dope.
We were basically drinking milk and sugar. You realize that,
exactly.
Right? Yeah, man. It was banging, though.
It was good.
Captain Crunch. We got Will on the line from PA. Big Will. What up, Big Will?
What's up, Will?
Hey.
What's up, Sway? What's up, Heather V? What's up, family?
Hey.
What's up? We got Shakespeare in here, the Incomparable Shakespeare, on the rise right now. Well, go ahead. What's your comment?
Yeah, I just wanted to say to Shakespeare, man, keep doing what you're doing. We listen to you. I got a nephew. He's young. He's from Brooklyn, New York, and we listened to you when we was up in New York for the first time, and he was feeling you. And I was telling him how your style is different from like Gucci Man, because I had a Gucci CD in the truck, and he was feeling that Shakespeare, man. Keep doing what you're doing, brother. You're a motivation to everybody. And Sway, I need to be officially citizenized today.
You are officially
a citizen of Sway in the morning.
Big Will, salute.
Big Will.
Down, baby.
There it is.
Good looking.
Thank you so much, brother. I appreciate that for real, man.
We're going to take it to Arizona. Trey, what's your comment to Shakespeare?
Hey, what's going on, y'all?
Good morning.
Hey, just real quick, Heather B hit it on the head when she said refreshing. I'm an old school cat. You know, I grew up with, you know, all that. I'm in Arizona by way of Queens. So, you know, I know that boom bap hip hop, and my man got it. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, he's real articulate. You know, he has some substance behind his stuff. Mm-hmm. And like I said to whoever answered the phone, I never heard of this guy, but I like it. I'm gonna go get his album.
Wow.
I support you, brother. You know what I'm saying?
Wow.
Keep doing it. And you know what I'm saying? The biggest thing is our kids need something positive.
Mm-hmm.
And just be positive, man. You know, I went to Iraq in 2008. I missed the memo on the skinny jeans, and when all this, you know, hopping and jumping around became cool. But you know, this is definitely refreshing, like Kevin B said, man. Keep it up.
The album is by Any Dreams Necessary.
Do you know how much, like, it's so important, you know what I'm saying? Like, it means so much to me just hearing from different people from all over the country, man.
Yeah.
Like, this is, like, such a new experience for me, man. So I appreciate hearing that, man. Thank you so much. For real, for real.
Hey, man, they're not just in the continental U.S. We got Rob from Canada on the line, too, man. Big Rob. What up, Rob?
What's up, Rob?
Yo, what's up? What's up?
What's up?
Yo, I never heard of you before, but I'm a fan now after hearing that. Definitely, it's real good music. But my question for you is being that you're on the brink of being given that shine and put in the limelight, what is your biggest fear? Because I feel like a lot of artists coming up in the game, they can't handle the possibility of having that success, and it's a very daunting task to think about. So is there anything that you fear as far as like maybe blowing up and becoming a relevant name in the hip hop game?
You know, it's funny, like, and I got to give a shout out to one of my mentors, you know, Reed McCants. You know, when I was a teenager, he told me something that really resonated for a long time, and it was like, you can't fear success. You know what I'm saying? And that stuck with me for so long, and I kind of feel, again, there's so many kids that can relate to my narrative that I want to get to the highest point. You know what I'm saying? I want to be at the top of the totem pole, not only so I can stay at a culture hip-hop and give them something, you know what I'm saying, that they could look up to, but, you know, that's the only way you can really impact the culture, you know? Mm-hmm. So I try, like, I don't have any fears at this moment. I've had to kind of accept the downsides of even fame. It's like you lose your privacy. You know, all of those things are kind of compromised, but I'm prepared for that because I think the ultimate goal is so much bigger, and the reward will be so much bigger. You know, just to give back to the kids in the hood. I grew up in the PJs, man. Yeah. You know, like, I want to be able, and thankfully, like, I went to school on academic scholarship. You know what I'm saying?
Where did you go?
I went to Xaverian High School, you know what I'm saying? And then I even got a scholarship to college, you know what I'm saying? I graduated summa cum laude. But,
wow.
Nice.
Damn.
You know,
You can hear it.
Yeah. That's true.
From what school?
I actually, at St. Francis College, downtown Brooklyn. You know, and I just think it's so important for me to give back in that way. So for me right now, I'm just fearless, man. I want to get it. I want to get to the top because I want somebody else to be like, if he did it, I could do it as well.
There it is, man. We need that narrative because that makes up the so-called hood environment as we know it. And he got a nice knuckle game. Looked like his knuckles been scraping the ground. So he must be punching something. Yeah, get on some lotion on the beat. You're a rapper now, kid. Can't be walking around with ashy knuckles, man.
You got to get your groupie numbers up.
Yo, Wonder, give me a beat, man. All right. Incomparable Shakespeare, Sway in the Morning, Shade 45. I know you came verse prepared.
Oh, man, that's what we do.
Yeah,
yo,
man.
you know, I rhyme, though. And I always say that people forget that I rhyme. Like, I really rhyme.
Okay,
you know? Yeah. Can we go in a little bit? Because I really want to get it off.
Okay,
you know?
You got about 3 minutes.
About 3 minutes?
Okay, what you going to do with it?
I used to write a dean till the rhyme schemes were excellent. Memorize lines till the rhymes were so effortless. When I listen now, not that I'm a pessimist, it's hard to respect kids pushed by an executive. I'm from an era when being nice was a prerequisite. Not a preference, nor is it a prejudice, but reading rhymes from your smartphone, that's a negative. You ever see DiCaprio on screen with a set of scripts? Didn't think so, let it sink in slow. And I'm super fly like I jumped off a ring post. Isn't it ironic like Alanis Morissette? Took Trinidad James to get them all upset. I ain't caught up in the hype, I'm just making forward steps to restore the feeling that everybody thought left. I'm not trying to bring New York back, but have my name in the convo when you talk rap. Amongst the Kendricks, the Drakes, Jiggers, and M's, they gon' say Shakespeare was the beginning and end. Alpha Omega, bringing lyricism again. They listen to him, rewind, and they listen again. Like Kane in 89, Big in 9-4, Jay in 9-8 on the Hard Knock Life tour. Same guy they write off, they're saying it's right on. I'm an alien now, I'm out of this life form. Hey, I got bars for real. Yo.
Oh, that's Shakespeare right there. I like that, man.
We ain't even done. We got more.
I know, but we're done.
Nah, B, we can't be done.
Okay, give him one more beat. I like that verse. It was flawless. I mean, he was batting 1,000. You were batting 1,000.
Oh, here we go.
Body like body.
All right, we got Ilyasa Shabazz up next.
You know, shout out to Wonder, man. He know what time it is. He got that Mob Deep rocking.
Wonder's a thug.
Yo, check me out. Like, Yo. Mirror, mirror, on the wall, who's the illest lyricist spitting Molotovs? It's a holocaust and I declare war. Therefore, since I'm on your airwaves, it's an air storm or chemical warfare that is airborne. This is fair warning since I'm in rare form. Hear me, y'all, from here on, I break the norms of conventional rap that'll lead to the industry's eventual collapse. Keep killing instrumentals and tracks, I'm an audio murderer. Remember that fact, body everything. I don't care what anybody thinks. If you disagree, you lying to yourself and you probably stick. Your songs are whack, your bars are lame. I've been ill since Natural E and Charlemagne. What I'm supposed to be impressed by your charms and chains? Keep sleeping, I could charm your dame. You ain't a Maybach or Bentley, nigga. Use a holding umbrella Farnsworth Bentley, nigga. Ooh. Checkmate said it's time to end these niggas. I'm playing for the chip, this ain't friendly pickup. So when I'm on the court, better defend me quicker. I'm like Elijah Wan in the post. Consider this a threat, a firearm to your throat. They said hip-hop was dead and I'm reviving the post. I'm like Jesus in Nazareth, giving life to Lazarus. All these swaggerless rappers, this acting are just hilarious. You deserve Academy Award for being actresses. I did my research, now I'm not having it. Your numbers ain't accurate. I pulled out the advocates. You don't got a buzz, but a social media strategist. I see through your smoking mirror and I'll expose you hoes. You're just a hoax. You're finished. You did.
You're listening to Sway in the morning
on Shade 45.